The great door has been opened. The great door to Noah's Ark. The great door to the temple. That's what we're going to discuss in this video, is the relationship between the great door opening after the great flood of Noah, the prophetic flood in the last days. So we've been on a series of videos talking about the great door being opened to the Apostle Paul at Pentecost. We saw that the days of Noah's flood, the precise days Christ talked about in Matthew 24, as in the days of Noah when he entered the ark. So we saw that the fulfillment of those days of when the flood started and ended is fulfilled in Daniel 9. At the end thereof shall be a flood. And it is in Revelation 12 when we see the great door being open. We know that the flood came out of the mouth of the dragon to flood the woman, but the earth helped the woman. So after which, the woman is given 2 wings of an eagle. She flies into the wilderness, at which point we see a great door opened. The great door is the great gate. The great east gate, when Christ ascended from the mountain of Olives east of Jerusalem on Ascension Day in Acts 1. So we talked about the great gate, the Ascension Day, and the two stood by saying he will return, in like fashion. So we have the great door being open on Pentecost, being the ark of protection to the church at Philadelphia, who is also protected in the temple by the promise, to he who overcomes, you make pillars in the temple. So both the ark and the temple have the significance of the doors. So in order to determine when this time is, when the great door is open, we would have to look at the days of Noah's flood to see when this was fulfilled. So we've covered that in the previous video. Go back to the previous video if you hadn't seen that already, because we're on a series here. Now we actually went to the Ark Encounter replica of Noah's Ark in Kentucky. Back 4 years ago, we went to this exhibit. It was a fantastic exhibit. I loved it. Highly recommend it for everyone to go if they can. And in it, they have a door. So the great door being open. So it says in Genesis that to open a door on the side of the ark. And in their replica, they had this big door that they had opened on the side, as you can see from the outside. But on the inside, we stood by this door. And of course, they had a great a placard on the side talking about Christ being the door. And that's what we're doing. We're declaring Christ is the great mystery of the door of protection to the ark in the end times flood. And so in this placard that you can see, you have the door right there. And then on the other side, you see this placard. It talks about Christ in John chapter 10. I am the door, and whoever enters through me shall be saved. So he is the door to Noah's Ark. He is the door to the temple. So that's the placard here, which you can see. So Christ being the door to the sheepfold. That the sheep would be protected in the end of days, from the flood of the dragon. But we must endure the persecution. Apostle Paul said there were many adversaries, but a great door was open to him. Now, as you can see me standing by this door, I was astonished when I went back and looked at the photographs and realized that what they had is a cross. There's a cross on the door, just like the door of utterance, the door of logos, the door of the gospel, was revealed to the Apostle Paul. They had in this door that I stood by 4 years ago a cross, just like you can see in all the videos here. In all the videos that we record, you can see I'm standing by a door here, and there's a cross on the door at the very center of the door, just like the one at Ark Encounter in Kentucky. Why? So that I would testify to the mystery of Christ, that he would be the door once again, the great door open to Noah's Ark. The great door being open of utterance of the mystery of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. All glory to the Lamb, that in the last days we would have a door with a cross on it, just like we were led to 4 years ago with the great door at Noah's Ark encounter. Okay, Christ being the door. So he is the door. We are here to testify that this door will be open in the end of days. So guys, glory to his name. I believe this is a witness and testimony to the message we're saying. The door is open. How amazing that the very door that we are testifying that is open, as you can see here, that in it there's a cross, just like in Noah's Ark replica in Kentucky. They placed a cross on the door, being the mystery of Christ, being the door, okay, to the sheepfold, the door to Noah's Ark, the door to the temple. So guys, I hope that's a witness and testimony. You might say, well, Leland, it's a coincidence, or maybe you remember. No, I don't remember, guys. I took the photograph 4 years ago. I didn't recall that in the photograph there was a cross on the door till I went back and looked at the photograph, and I was just amazed. So all glory to his name of the witness and testimony that this is true, guys. Just amazing. So now what we'd like to do is we've shown you how the days of Noah's flood, how it began and ended in the second month, the days of Christ's ascension aligning with that covenant with Noah when he went forth, when the door was open to the ark. And we showed you how that's leading to Pentecost, just like the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 16. Okay, he will tarry in Ephesus until Pentecost. Okay, so there's a counting from these days of Christ's ascension, counting 10 more days to the Feast of Pentecost. And what we believe is that this flood, okay, that would have been cast out of the serpent's mouth, all right, the earth helped the woman swallowing up the flood. Okay, so there would be an end of days flood, but there would be a protection to those in Philadelphia. Now remember, he that is holy and true, that has the key of David. All right, now the key of David is going to open this prophetic ark, and it's going to open literally the door to the temple. He opens, no man shuts, and shuts, no man opens. Thus the door, Noah's ark, that Yahweh opened and closed, okay, himself. And to the church at Philadelphia, he said, I know your works. All right. And he said, behold, I have set before you an open door, and no man can shut it. All right. So this is this open door to the church at Philadelphia. This door is to the temple, and it's a protection from the judgments that will come on the world. Because you have kept the word of my patience, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation, which will come upon the whole earth. Okay. And of course, it is the promise to the church of Philadelphia that he who overcomes, he would make pillars in the temple. He will write upon them the name of New Jerusalem. So now what we want to do is we want to show you the relationship and connection between Noah's Ark and the measurements and dimensions of the ark, and how those match the temple, so that both have doors on the side, both have similar measurements, sometimes identical measurements. So let's show you that. Okay, what we're looking at here is the temple complex of the Ezekiel temple, which Christ will reign in the millennium. And so what you have here is the outer court area, and then the inner court area is here. And what we've done is we have taken the dimensions of Noah's Ark as they would appear in a length of 300 cubits and a width of 50 cubits. So if we take that 300 cubits length, 50 cubits width, and we were to take that measurement and we were to overlay that in the inner court, you will see that it will line up quite perfectly with the dimensions of the inner court. So that's going from right where my finger is right here to right here. That is the precise dimensions of the inner court with a length of 300 cubits. There's an area here with the altar. There's an area here with the temple. And there's an area here called the king's house. Now, the inner structure of the temple has two boundaries of 5 cubits each. So if we were to take those, you'll see that they'll appear on the either side of the 50 cubits length of the ark, which you can see if I move that out of the way. So yes, the temple does reflect a 50 cubit measurement, but the full measurement outside of the temple to outside is 60 cubits. Now we know this matches the Noah's Ark because if we were to take the height of the temple, if we were to take the height of Noah's Ark, each is 30 cubits. Okay, so we have a shared relationship of the 50 cubits, of the 300 cubits being the inner court, and the height of 30 cubits being exactly that of both Noah's Ark and the temple. Amazing. Both of which, as we also stated, would have a door on the side, just like we saw the replica, how they had, their Noah's Ark, and they had like a door on the side of the ark. As well, there is a door on the side in the Ezekiel temple, one facing the north, one facing the south. Again, sharing the same architectural elements and design between Noah's Ark and the temple. So there you can see Noah's Ark, the length of which is 300 cubits, just like the inner court of the Ezekiel temple. The width is 50 cubits, just like the inner wall to inner wall in the temple. The height of Noah's Ark and the temple is the same 30 cubits in height. That's what we're representing here. When we look at the height of the ark and the height of the temple, they're both 30 cubits, showing us that in the end of days, okay, Noah's Ark would be opened again. There would be a protection in the ark. What does it mean? What does it mean for us? What does it mean that this door is open? The woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle. She was given the wings to fly into the place prepared of God. She's given 2 wings of an eagle, flying the place prepared of God, which is the temple. So, Yahweh promised that in the end of days, he would never destroy the earth again with a flood. So there wouldn't be a physical ark like Noah's. That the ark of Noah would be the temple. Okay, the temple, the great door of the temple, and heaven will be open. All right, and the woman will go into that place prepared of God, into the wilderness, just like the children of Israel. So we're testifying the great door has been open. Okay, the temple of heaven has been open. You guys, we've been on a series. This is important that if you watch each video of Noah's flood, how we know the beginning and ending of the prophetic flood, okay, the flood that goes after the woman, all right, and that you would know that in the end of days, the great door will be open again. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll have more, and God bless you.